Generic greetings and welcome to Nimbatus, the Space Drone Constructor game. The premise is quite simple. You have a central drone core in which you will be attaching various parts to it in order to make a vessel that will hopefully be able to accomplish whatever the set objectives are throughout the mission within designated parameters, obviously. So things like gather resources, mine, kill generic space aliens, pick up a lost cargo crate or discarded fuel barrel, things like that. I've played about an hour and a half of the game thus far, which is the tutorial and a bit of the campaign, and first impressions are quite positive. I've been enjoying it. So I was going to do a preview, but I thought you'd probably appreciate a bit of a mini-series on it where we go and make some interesting builds and designs and not only see one or two triumphs, but probably some inefficient designs, shall we say. So that's all this is going to be. Certainly not a completion, or at least the goal is not to get to the end because it'll probably be quite long. But as always, we'll see how things go. This is in early access. This is version 0.5.7, so it's not feature complete. There's going to be some issues there and things like that. I've not experienced any bugs, so it is very playable. So let's just go to start game, and we will start a brand new game. So it's loading the galaxy, and you can see it says early access version. We'll continuously update and improve the game. You can participate by giving feedback, etc. So continue. So we have our system here and different planets there. We've also got an arena, which is like a sumo thing you have to make, like an automated bot. And we'll get into that in a bit. And you can, basically, when you complete certain objectives, you can then travel to the next system, that sort of thing. I've only done a couple around here. I haven't gone, certainly, over there. So let's just see what our first one is. So we'll visit this planet here. So it's a 560 meter planet, not exactly huge, is it? Normal gravity, air resistance normal, risk level low. The mission is destroy hives. This jungle planet is infested with bees, not the bees. Reduce the amount of hives to keep their population in check, but don't think that they're going to make it easy for you. No, prepare for heavy combat. Okay, so we'll select the drone, and we'll have to create a new drone. We can go to Steam Workshop, and it is fully on there, so it's all integrated, but we're going to create a drone. So this is our core. If that gets destroyed, then that's pretty much it. You can just go to test flight, and you can see it does absolutely nothing. Even if we put gravity on, and we'll slowly go down, but we're doing nothing because, well, we haven't got any parts on it. Speaking of parts, there's several on the bottom here. So we've got basic parts, thrusters, batteries, all that sort of thing. So if we wanted to have something go forward, we would need, at a minimum, a thruster. So we'll place a thruster back there, and you can see it shows you the HP, the mass, the force, and things like that. You can see, like, we've got a center of gravity we can turn on and off, as well as, like, grids and stuff like that. Is that snap to grid? Oh, it's recenter camera. And we can say, like, whatever the buttons are to activate it. So W is to make it go, well, turn it on. So I've just duplicated that. You can see you can just use the Control D, Control V, Cs, all that sort of stuff. Basically, all the Windows commands for controlling this thing, and we've now got thrusters on there, but we need a bit of fuel as well, so we can place a fuel tank about there, and then if we go to test flight, we can then press forward, and there we go, and dung, we just hit into that wall. So not entirely the best vessel ever, but you get the idea. So let's just make something that will be able to accomplish whatever the objectives were for this mission, which I believe was kill some space bees. So I'm going to place a probably, we'll get rid of that. Probably one of these big lumps back here, and then we'll have our, oh, you can rotate them with your mouse as well. And then we'll connect everything to this one. You can't connect everything just to the central core because eventually you will basically run out of, well, if you connect too much to it, it will be an issue. So I'm just going to hold, actually I'm just going to go with that to there, and then that to there, and then we'll duplicate it, and then duplicate it, and then we've got all that connected to this bit. So if that dies, then all these die too, which is not good. Hang on, that's not right. And there we go. So we now have our thrusters on that. So that's going to go forward very, very fast. We're going to go to fuel, and then we'll say was that a booster tank? I don't. Do I want that one? It's large capacity but no recharge. So we're going to have one of these circular ones, and we'll do. Do you want to connect it to that? No, we'll connect it to the center. I should point out, obviously, when you're placing stuff, you can only stay. You have to stay within this. With this radius here, so you can't go further out from that one. You place it and it just won't allow you to place it, actually. There we go. So that's fuel. With that, we'll be able to now function. We need to be able to turn this thing, though, because that is generally a positive thing. So I'm going to go for thrusters. We'll go for a small thruster, and again, we're going to connect it to here, and we'll place one there. and we want to have that as button A, and then we'll place this one here, which will have that as button D, and then we'll duplicate that, and then we'll put it on the other side, but we'll connect it to here, and we're going to put it probably about there, and then this one will duplicate it, and then we'll spin it around, and then we'll connect it to there. So we should be able now to go left and right, assuming I've connected that up correctly. Actually, what I'm going to do as well is put some back thrusters on here. You can see I'm putting like an engine core on the back of it, but that now should function if I set that to the correct buttons. And test flight, we can go forward, we can go back, we can turn left, and we can turn right. So it's quite slow turning round, so I'm not a big fan of that, and we haven't even got other stuff on there. But let's just see what else we come up with. So there's that. So if we went to the mission and try to fight now, it would not work out too well because our only option is to ram. Hang on. Attaching too many parts to a single part may cause instabilities. Well, where's the instabilities coming from? From this? I assume it might be from that. Let me instead then connect it to that, and maybe that will fix the problem. Yeah, we had too many parts connected to that. So there we are. That's all connected up. So we want to be able to have a bit on the front where we have like a combat module, and in order to be able to fire weapons and do other things, we need batteries. So I'm going to put a large battery on the front there. We might place some more, but that's what we're going to have for now. In terms of weapons, we've got all different stuff. So we've got saw blades, we've got basic lasers, rockets, burning, what was that? Burning laser? Yes, it is. So I'm going to place a burning laser, and I think we'll place them on the front. You can see we've got things like you can turn it to plasma, long beam, energy upgrade. Can we change it? Long laser, plasma, long beam, and energy upgrade 1. We can't select those because we've only got the laser upgraded. We can go to the weapons workshop, and this is a big tech tree, so you can see we've got projectile count upgrade and attack speed upgrade and that sort of thing. I want to go for that's rockets, that's recoil downgrade. Well, we don't have recoil. Laser range upgrade. Yeah, that's not too bad. Big explosion. I don't really want to research a big explosion. I'm going to start researching that, which will cost us resources that we don't have. So we'll go back to the main thing here. So let's just start duplicating all of these. So select that, duplicate, 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 and duplicate. So that's now some guns on the front. You can see it's all set to mouse 0, which I might change. Let's go to oh, and it's also got the rotation as the cursor, so it's going to look at that. So we'll say test flight, and we can see that, oh my good grief. So lasers work, lasers are good, but turning is prohibitive. It's not good. So we're going to get rid of those and those and those, and we're going to instead put some better boosters on it. Better boosters being these things. So that one we want to have as D. We will duplicate that and then spin it around, and we'll connect it to the center here. Actually, where's that one connected to? It's connected to that, so I'm going to do that. Duplicate that, rotate it round, put it in there. That one will be A, and then duplicate that one, connect it to that, and then place it there. It's quite intuitive once you've got used to it. Hang on, that's now correct, I think. So let's go to test flight, and oh, that's much better. It's still not the most maneuverable thing in the world, but it's okay, and it's got a lot of go juice when it's pointing forward. There we go. Right. So there's all that put in. Yeah, it's quite intuitive when you get used to it. The downsides are things like these weapons. You can only have one button, or, well, weapons and the thrusters and other parts as well. You can only have one button for it. So you can't have, for example, this thruster. I would like that to fire when we press D, and I'd like these two to fire when we press E, and that is a possibility, but we have to start using things like these NOR gates and OR gates and all of this sort of stuff. So we'd have to say things like an if gate, actually. So you could probably use an if gate, and you could say input. If we say if, hang on, we could probably do it with a couple of if gates. So if E, then press no, we'd have to. That would be a problem because this one would have to be set as well. Yeah, we'd have to use different logic systems, which I'm not confident in using at this point. We've got things like directional sensors and temperature sensors and things like that. Anyway, let's worry about gathering resources. So gathering resources, we have different tanks in order to hold resources, and I'm going to place some resource gathering probably either side of this, probably one of each. resource. So we've got blue, red, and yellow. So there's them resources, and we will be able to gather them with a resource collector, surprisingly. Sadly, we can't connect it to that. It will not function. So instead, what I will do is have a bit of a corner piece on here. Yes, the parts, these parts here, yeah, we're starting to get a bit of a too many attached to this. Do we really care? Not really. That should be okay for now. Yes, you can place thrusters so it's looking onto a part. It's not going to destroy it or anything like that. Anyway, I probably want some more batteries, so I'll connect a battery to the battery, so batteryception. There we go. And then we want resource collectors, which will be in here, and we'll attach them to there, and then there, and then there, and then there. And do I move that part to there? That looks better, actually. There we go. Right, so that is our drone. It has got no protection whatsoever, so we should probably put some defensive part on. Cooler, heater, and small energy shield. So I'm going to attach a small energy shield to there, and then duplicate that and put it to there. So we're going to basically sort that out. Like, say space for that. I think that's about right. It says warning, attach many parts to a single part. We'll go to test flight though, we'll see what it's like. It doesn't turn left or right. There's our shields when we hold space. The problem is I don't want to be holding space. It's a bit annoying, so I might change that later on. But let's just go to save and exit. So it's going to be generic drone 1, and we will save that. So that's fine. That's now saved, and we will launch the whoa. Okay, just cancel. Launch. I think it was trying to export it. So, destroy the hives. We can see we've got a fairly minimalist UI. Top left, our objective. So, destroy large hives. 0 of 5 completed. We have, slowly drifting down actually. Let's not do that. We've got resources that we currently have, not just on us, but in general. So we got 1,000 of the of the yellow. We've got 0 of red, 0 of blue, and 0 of green. And then we've got the mini-map on the right. So we can see we've got our ship up here. So if we go up, we can see that we have our ship. There we go, the Nimbatus. We go down, we've got like a sort of resource drop-off type thing, and that'll just be hovering just above the planet's surface. And speaking of the planet, here it is. So we need to look for some bees, which is something I really don't want to do, but we actually got some resources here, which I realise I didn't actually. I did set some buttons too. I think actually I didn't set the buttons, it was just default right click. So there we go, we've gathered some resources. So you can see there's like something through there, and we could probably use our laser to cut through that, because it is a bit where you, well, basically you can do that. Oh my good grief, right, this thing is a bit on the large side. It doesn't like it really doesn't like backing up. In fact, that's our max speed going back. Yeah, that's not great. But if we spin around, we can go all kinds of forward. There we go. What I'm going to do, I've gathered some of this yellow resource, and I'm just going to dump that in there. And then I can see there's gravity, so it is dragging us towards it. So obviously later on, you can make a thing where, like a proximity sensor, so if it's just about to hit it, it'll say, right, activate whatever button. You can do that. It's a bit, the logic, I would assume it would be connection logic, but it's not. It's all about the like the buttons and stuff, so it's just a bit difficult for me to get my head around at this point. I mean, I know things like I know it's getting long in the tooth, and quite old in fact. What the hell is that? I don't think that's what we have to kill, but I'm still going to shoot it. Ooh dear. Ooh, that creates goo. It's a goo pod. Anyway, yeah, I know it's getting old. There's some enemies long in the tooth, but Gary's mod was always like a model game when it comes to that sort of thing. It's quickly able to get on with stuff. I'm going to try and take out some of these. Oh, good grief, we are getting absolutely hammered. Why are they attacking me? I mean, apart from the fact that, I want to say attacking when they were biting on the thing. I'm overheating. Oof, good grief. Right, so let's... Why are we overheating massively? I'm going to back up here because this is not good. Probably need some cooling. See that? The sort of... Oh, the charge forward. I think when they take a certain amount of damage, they sort of go thermal and then run off, which is not good for our purposes. So there's like a heat mechanic in the game where, oh, you know what, I'm just going to ignore those guys. Shields up. Kill the hive first so they don't spawn. That's the problem. I'm letting them spawn constantly. Come on, take them out. Take them out. Oh, shields are down. I don't think there's enough gunnage. More gunners needed. Come on, there we go. Right. We're running out of running out of power as well. Come on. They're gonna head off that way. Right, they're blown up. Right, so yes, quite warm, this thing. I'm just gonna sit here and let this cool down. You can, yeah, as I said, there's as I was saying, there is like a thermal system in it, so your ship will get warm and really cold and stuff, and you'll need to place things to cool the ship down, which currently it ain't doing. If we get further away from the planet, will that dissipate heat? That's a problem. That is a problem. We have no way of dissipating the heat. Well, let's see what resources we can gather. We might as well gather resources while we're here. We'll go back. Good grief, this thing is warm. I don't know if it's slowly dissipating or not. I don't think it is. Either way, we'll drop some resources off, because if nothing else, we should be able to return back to the ship and redesign. I don't know if we keep the resources we gather, though. There we go, we've cooled down now. That's good. So, so far, not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. More guns would be certainly the ideal choice. Probably rockets or something like long-range stuff. I'm still looking for the hive. Oh, there's the hive there that I need to take out. Oh, I might be stuck here. Oh, no. I'm sliding along this side of it here, and I can't. I don't think I can get... I think I'm stuck. I think the ship's stuck. No, it doesn't really have the thruster power. There we go. There we go. That's teeth dryer, isn't it? Oh, God, more of these things. Right, they kill the hive first. Oh, there's two hives next to each other. Well, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Right, I'm just going to try and get off the ship. Get off the ship. Get off. I don't think we're going to be able to do this. There's one dead. Oh, we're stuck. No! Not enough thruster power. Oh, shields are down. Right, ramming speed. Go. Right, okay, not ramming speed, just run away. Get off the ship. Get off. Horrible space beasties. You know what? I don't mind bees. Bees are good. Bees pollinate. Bees are doing good stuff. But these space bees, nah, not a fan. Honestly, I could take or leave them at this point. So, we have... Oh, there's our part heading off. I wonder if we shoot that, what happens? What I do know is we're really low on energy. Ooh, that seems to be... That's just one of those. Right, let's go back. I don't think we're going to be able to complete this mission with this ship, quite frankly. So let's go back. We'll dump our resources, and I think we'll probably abort and we'll try again with a different design. What design is going to be? Well, probably just more stuff on it, actually. I think if we just dump those... I don't know if we get them, actually. So, if we leave the planet, do we keep these resources? Yes, we do. We keep the resources, so that's good, at least. Fine, that's good. What's his burning laser? Upgrades. Oh, you can make weapons, so you can say have a plasma, bio... That's all. I mean, just making different bits. Reduce recoil, laser range upgrade. We haven't got any blue. Okay, so back to here. So, what are the problems? Doesn't turn very well, and not enough gun. So, I'm going to move these guns out like this. Oh, these lazies. Hang on, is that too far out? It is too far out. There we go. So there's the lasers. I also have... I don't like the fact that I have to hold the button. Used to heat up enemies, less damage. Fair enough. So what we could do, we could always have things like activates the output key if the input key is pressed. We can have a switch, I think. I'm sure there's a switch in it. Yeah, on-off switch, so we could have an on-off switch for these guns. Let's just manually have that at the moment, although on-off switch for the shields would be good. Right, so we need more weapons. What have we got? Basic rockets. That sounds useful. One. Is that mouse 0 again? It is, so just left-click-a-thon. We're going to go for a rocket launcher, yeah. Want to duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. Right, so let's try that. Okay, them rockets are extremely spammy. They just go everywhere. But it's not too much of an issue, is it? What we do have an issue with was cooling, or rather lack of it. So we'll go for defensive parts, cooler. We'll connect up to, doesn't really matter, here perhaps, and we'll put it there. And the cooling key can be F. And we'll duplicate that and put one there. Like that. Duplicate that and put one there. And duplicate that and put one there. That should be alright. Test flight, so we can say, oh, hang on. That's rocking, oh, that's bad. See that there? That's all kinds of bad. Right, so cooling. There we go, cools the ship down. By the way, you can actually freeze your ship as well if you keep holding it. The ship will freeze. And there we go, it's frozen. Which doesn't really help you out because, you see, they're not functioning whatsoever. We also have a bit of a problem with batteries and rather the lack of power. That won't fit in there, but we can put one there, which we'll connect to there, duplicate that, and then connect it to there. Right, okay, let's probably save that there, and next episode we will test this thing out. What's going to be like? I have no idea, but that's why we're going to try it, aren't we? Requirements: only one laser, no other weapons required. I disagree. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed the video. By all means, let me know in the comments what you think we should do for designs, builds, and changes, etc. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.